Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the new functions in Microsoft Office 2013. This is something that we all have already programmed and installed into our laptops. The first thing I want to look at is the notes function. Now, if you look at my first slide here, I have put some notes at the bottom. All you have to do is there's a little notes button. You hit that. It'll open up and I can just start typing in there notes to myself that I will use as I'm giving a presentation. So I'll show you how this works. If I hit slideshow, and then at the bottom here, you'll see there are a couple different options. I want to choose the three dots, which usually means more, and choose presenter view. Now what this does, if you're not familiar with it, in presenter view on my laptop, I get this view. So I'll see my notes off to the right here, and I'll kind of get a preview of my next slide. They're really handy when you're giving a presentation. Now what my students see on the screen is just the slide that's currently up here. So they don't get this whole picture, they just get the slide. Only I can see the notes, only I get the preview. Really handy feature. So let's end our slideshow. So that's how you use the notes. Very, very simple. I like to do that because, on our PowerPoints, we don't want to put every single thing that we're saying. Research shows that that's not effective. We want to keep it to, actually research says 6 words or fewer, with accompanying pictures and stuff like that. So just throwing that out there, it's a good idea if you're able to use that. Now, some of the other new functionalities, if you download OfficeMix, which I have the link to that in the blog, you will get this new tab. Okay, this new tab has a bunch of different features. We're not going to talk about all of them because that would be like a 3-hour video. What we are going to talk about are the quizzes and how to export these and how to look at the data. So first thing we want to do is very simply, you can take a PowerPoint you already have. You don't have to create something new. Take a PowerPoint you already have, and you can insert slides that have quick little questions in them. This kind of works like a Nearpod without having to go to the effort of transferring all of your information over. Plus, you don't lose your animations. You're not going to lose your links or your videos or anything else because it's the same PowerPoint you already have. So just an example what this looks like. This is just the multiple choice. Now, if we look up here in the quizzes video apps, you will see, I want to say there's probably 10 different options. 10 different things. You can add polls. You can have web viewers. You can do true, false. There are things in here specific to math, things specific to coding. There are things in here from Khan Academy. So all of these different inserts, you'll want to explore those on your own because I'm just focusing on the multiple choice today, but a lot of different options in here. CK through 12 resources, which are seemingly infinite. A lot of good science and math resources in there. So let's go back to the already prepared multiple choice I have. Where does all this stuff go? Now in here, you have a couple different options. You can allow multiple choices, single choice, retries. You can limit the attempts. You can choose what is the correct answer. You can give hints. If I were to click this button, I can give a hint. And then, of course, the trash can means delete. I can add additional questions, so it doesn't just have to be 3. Really handy if you want to give a quick formative assessment mid-PowerPoint slides. Now, the example I have here, I stole some of these slides from Mr. Campanero's World War I PowerPoint slideshow. And, he has his slides here. We're talking about the 4 causes of World War I. So we go through the slides. We have, we start with nationalism and then imperialism and then militarism and then alliance systems. So after you've gone through those 4 slides, it might be a good idea just to kind of, because this takes time and kids are going to probably already forget the first slide. So you can put a quick formative assessment in there and ask them, what were the 4 causes of World War I? And you can have them go and check off all the ones that are correct. Now here I made it so that they had to choose multiple options. What you would do is completely up to you, but this is a nice, really quick way to spot check your kids' work. Now, I said you take a PowerPoint you have, and you just insert a couple slides here and there, whatever you need. When you're done, you go to the top, and there is a upload to mix. Now, when we go to upload to mix, it's going to ask you to sign into Google. I can't do it because I've already done it. Actually, let me see. Yeah, here we go. I click it. It's going to ask to prepare. I go next. Okay, it'll ask if this is new or if I'm updating an existing mix. Let's say for the sake of this is new. It'll take, for this, it's a really short slideshow. It's not going to take very long to upload. And then you can show your mix. Now, while we're waiting for it to publish, whenever you want to retrieve this mix again and look at the data, if you look at the top, there's a little button that says My Mixes. That's now in your PowerPoint. So when you open your PowerPoint, you can click My Mixes. It'll take you to a gallery, and I'm going to show you the gallery, which has some really cool stuff you're going to like. So let's show me my mix. This is taking me to a website. So obviously we need to have the internet plugged in. Okay, so here's my web mix. When I go in here, if I want to share this with my students, I need to change the sharing. You need to crank it all the way up to public so anyone can look at this, which not a big deal. We're going to throw this under other for now because you have to have a category. And there it is, and you have your link right here. Okay. Now, when you have this mix, you can make embeds, which is kind of fun. So let's open up the embed. Oop, we have to save. Warning, warning. Okay, let's scroll down. Okay, let's make an embed. So I'm going to copy this embed code, and you put it right into Schoology, which is pretty handy dandy. So I'm on my Schoology page. I go to Add Materials, add a file or a link. I know a lot of you put your PowerPoints on Schoology, so this is just maybe a refresher. Some of you, this may be new information, so just kind of check this out. We pasted the link in there. I'm going to hit Add. I'm adding it to all my classes, but you can pick and choose which classes you add it to. It's totally up to you. We will wait just a minute, and the embed code should be at the bottom. Now, this doesn't look like much right now, but when your kids click on it, it's going to change. And it's going to look like your PowerPoint. Now, the students can go through this PowerPoint and they can answer those interactive questions in here. So this is a great way to flip your PowerPoint slides rather than if, like, say there's some stuff that you want to get done in class, but you don't have time. Assign it for homework. They can answer the questions at home, and you can look at the data of like how many people looked at it, how well did they answer the questions, and then address that information when you come back. So I'm going to delete this so it just doesn't sit here because my kids will wonder what that is all about. Yes, we're going to delete that. So you can embed it into your Schoology, super easy. When we head back to the OfficeMix, we can look at my mixes. Now I only have 2 because I just started playing with this. But one of the super fun things we can do in your mixes is look at analytics. Now, I haven't had my kids do this. We're still kind of testing and playing with this. But I've watched a couple videos, and you can see how many people have stopped in to look. How many of you watched it? How much time have they spent on this? How much time have they spent on average on each slide? I can sort this by year, last 30 days, yesterday, today. I can customize a sort. Whatever is good for you. So it's pretty handy, and when it goes slide by slide. So you get a summary of each slide, which I think is really, really cool in terms of looking at your data. So you can take a look and see, wow, nobody watched this last night, so we know they didn't get their homework done. Or, wow, people really did it, and it's clear that they spent a lot of time on each slide, so they must have really got into the information. So now, there are so many more features to this, but obviously it would take a long time for me to get through it. I would definitely recommend taking a look at it. And if all you do is add some multiple choice quizzes to get some quick formative assessments in your PowerPoints, hey, that's a great step forward. Now, one other thing, and this is where the magic really happens, let's take a look at the gallery. Now, in the gallery, you know how we had to make this public, right? So you could share it. In the gallery is everyone else's stuff, which is free stuff that you can edit and you can take for your own. So if I need an interactive PowerPoint presentation on Ohm's Law, boom, here it is. These are searchable. There is a ton of stuff in here. There's a ton of stuff in here. Uh-oh, better refresh our page. Don't you like it when you're giving an example of something and then it's like, oh, wait, this doesn't work? I don't love that, just so we're clear on that. Let's look at something else. So there are a bunch of other things in here. Things may look tense on the surface. This looks like fun. Many of these come out as videos. Now, shooting a video is super easy. You take your PowerPoint slides you already have, and I'll show you briefly. I don't want to get real in depth in this. And you just record the slides. The microphone on your camera on your laptop will record your voice as you go through the slides, and boom, at the end you'll get a chance to make and publish a video just like that without really any editing software, without any additional support. You could even, if you had an additional microphone, you could use your Eno board and write on your PowerPoint while shooting the video from PowerPoint, and your students can see that. So there are so many different functionalities for this. I definitely would take a look into it. So let's go back here. Oh, things may look on the surface. I just had it. There it is. So we'd go through here. Let's watch a little bit of the snippet here. Play the video.
It's time for another amazing experiment with Dr. Dunbar. Today, as any good scientist knows, we start off with a question.
All this is a video that someone made of their PowerPoint slides, and they put a voiceover in it. That's all it is. It looks really fancy, but it's not that complicated. It's very simple to do. So great way to flip your class, and that's all that I have for the Microsoft Office Mix, which is my new favorite tool. Thanks for your time.